Wait, hold on. This PC may actually die for no apparent reason, which is bad. Let me fix that. This PC may die. Well, Discord. Oh wait, Discord's on the other thing. Never mind. I thought Discord was on my PC. Well, it is on this PC, but it's not supposed to be that bad. But it's alright. Just to let you know, like, what happened. My stream crashed in the middle of drawing, so that's why you saw that frozen image. I can't control that, unfortunately. I might have to switch back to X264.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Mark's up.
I may have to switch back to X264 for certain streams because it's like, even when I use a hardware encoder is good because you guys get better quality stream, right? The issue is that it can randomly crash at any given moment, and because of that, the stream may just die and my PC may just die, and that's bad. So because of that, I have that issue. There's always a chance that stream just randomly goes down for a reason where OBS just dies. Not because my Wi-Fi is terrible, but because OBS, the hardware encoder, cannot somehow keep up and just breaks randomly. I don't know why. So I may have to go back to X264 for some things, but not Splatoon streams, because if I do it for Splatoon streams, then it's going to look like a PowerPoint presentation, and we don't want that. You guys can at least hear me, and the stream will never go down, but it will look like a PowerPoint presentation. Getting off where we left off before my PC rudely interrupted me. I was trying to design this character, which, I mean, we practically did. Well, I mean, I did it. I finished it, kinda. I just need to, set the sand. Actually, I have to zoom out, because I'm trying to think about the abstract. Looking at it from this angle, when you're close up, it's like, oh wait, no, this is part of the person. No, it's not, actually. They're sitting on top of the sand pile. They're behind the sand pile. This is a stat pile. That's what it is. So that's kind of what we're working with. Can I fix this? I can kind of fix it. Let's go. But yeah, I think I fixed that part. Okay. So, the desert part is pretty much done, except for, these stray blue streaks here, because I didn't fill this in fully. But that's fine. It's besides the point. It doesn't really matter too much. Just not everyone's gonna be perfect. I can obviously just put in like a fill tool, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because I actually want to make sure I'm actually painting. Not painting, but my mouse is actually going over the blue specks, so it looks okay. And I don't have like a weird fit. I was like, oh, wait, no, that doesn't actually fit. Don't want that to happen. So I'm going to do this like close up. So what I'll probably do before I actually, were to upload this. Why is it lagging like that? Before I actually upload this, will probably be go back here into every layer and just fill in everything. Just make sure everything's filled in before I actually upload it. But even like this, you're not really gonna notice it until you zoom back out. I mean, from this far away, you're not gonna be able to see it at all. Like, you may kind of see some blue patches here and there. Like, especially if you're, like, from this distance, you could kind of see it, like, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. But it's not enough where you're just like, oh, that kind of breaks the image. Like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't break the image. It just, like, maybe looks a little bit weird, which is fine. So, we have the sun, we have the moon, we have our ocean, which this only took about 20 minutes. This, which only took about 20 minutes. Actually, how long did the land take? I think the land took 30 minutes, actually. But this didn't take that long. None of this took too long. Now I have to figure out what I actually want to do. Because now I have... What? Sky, ocean, land. I actually don't need clouds here because this is desert. So I don't need a cloud. Don't need that. So now I have to figure out what I want to draw. Now. Oh wait, I need the brush for this. I need the oil paintbrush, which is this one. I need the oil paintbrush because I'm gonna need to paint around here a little bit. I need to decrease the size of this a little bit, but I'll keep veneer shore like that. Wait, no, I'm an idiot, dude. I'm an idiot. No, that's not the right layer. This is the right layer. Yeah, this is the right layer for this. There we go. And then, add a little bit more here to the edge, but it's not going to matter. There we go. So, this is somewhat shallow water, so it should be fine. It might be a little bit too dark there, but that's fine by me. So, now I have to figure out what I want to do now, which I don't really know. I don't really know, to be honest. I could start doing is I could start making, the sketch of a character or something like that. I could do that because I have the time. This is a G pen. I actually want to know what this looks like if I would start drawing. It's a bit coarse, but it's not bad. It's a bit coarse. I need some sand. I need some some sandy winds up here. Phew. I need some of this up here. Mixed in with some of these. And then I need to add like a cloud feature over here. Which I believe because the cloud feature is... You guys can hear me, right? The cloud feature is this one. So I'll add some of this. Lower down the opacity. This would be above a sky layer, so this would technically be the dust layer, and then I guess like these layers would be when I draw maybe a character or something like that. But this could be the base image, and then I just draw whatchamacallit. No, it would be funny. This could just be the base image, and I add a boat or two here, or not. So I can add a few boats here as whatchamacallit, as an idea. OBS didn't crash this time. Like, my PC actually didn't crash, but OBS was so slow. So OBS effectively crashed, but the PC didn't crash, luckily, which is good. Because if the PC crashed, I would not be able to access this. I was able to save it in time because the PC reloaded. Well, the PC didn't reload, but the PC saved itself somehow. And it just stopped working with OBS. It needs to be a bit hazier than that. So... Wait, I might be stupid here. This needs to go in sky. This needs to go in the sky, yeah. So it needs to be behind this. Yeah. Wait, dude. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I can honestly remove some of the things in. Honestly, remove some of the things that I see in whatchamacallit. Well, there's not dust all the way there. That's a bit inaccurate. There's dust up to here, but there's not dust everywhere. This is more accurate, yeah. Something like this, and then underneath, it gets like a much darker dust here. It's a little bit too dark. A much darker dust like over here. Graying it out. Okay, now this is what we were really looking for. The dust. Yeah, there you go. Now that looks like something. I just need to add like a light portion on the top of this because that makes the most sense. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's fine. It looks okay. That's the good part. It looks okay. Okay, that could be layer. Wait, no, layer 4 could also have boats. To be fair, can add a few boats. To be real. Those would probably need to have like a certain outline though. Like if I'm gonna draw, well, actually, if I am going to draw a boat, it needs to be a certain way. Yeah, it's gonna need to be a certain way like this, and then it needs to bend backwards like that. Yeah, it's gonna need to bend backwards like that, and then it's gonna need like a lift in the back here, like a square, and then it needs to do that. So I'm gonna need this right here. Those are the type of boats that we're gonna be making. Not too many of them though. And then I'll just have like a simple sailboat. Notification. Oh, my phone is like off. I can have a simple, somewhat boat here. Where you have this, and then like you have a sail technically. Actually, no. Don't add lines there. Actually do add lines, but make them smaller than whatever you just drew. But add this across. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, something like this. It'd be okay. This will also need a sail. So we are going to get that in there too. Needs to be bigger than that though. Needs to be bigger. It gives it that round touch to it that we really need. And then I can erase this. There we go. So we have two. We'll have two boats. That should be fine. We'll have two boats, and then we'll add some. What in the world are you thinking of adding? Yeah, we'll add We'll add some humans. Dude, you can barely see the people, bro. This is so funny. Dude, I'm drawing tiny humans from impossible distances away. I guess, well, a human does technically run like that. So actually, yeah, so actually this is actually quite fun. Now zoom out. Yeah, see, now there's humans there. Now there's civilization, there's people. There's a thing called civilization though. At least from what I do remember, usually you have a drawing layer and then you actually, in am I stupid? No, I'm not. You have the drawing layer, which is this, and then you put the actual, whatchamacallit. You color over this, basically. At least from what I remember. You're not supposed. Although, I could do it in the same layer, and it'd be, I guess, okay. Why is my thing doing that? It's not supposed to. The type of wood that this needs, it's probably going to be, like this type of wood, to be honest with you. Layer 5 is when I begin painting in the structure that I see. So now I will paint the general thing, the entire color, but obviously, you know, the colors will change because it can't be even like this. There has to be some change in color. It doesn't have to be a lot, but there has to be at least some change. So I'll actually do that for the mask. Right here. There's some change. May not be a lot of change, but there's some change. Because this goes all the way up, and then probably add a door there or something. And then, you know, the sail can be like a pale color like this. And then I can add an emblem in the middle. But you see, it shouldn't take too long. For this emblem, yeah, we'll use a hot pink. I need to make a symbol. So let me think of a symbol right now. Actually, this could work as a symbol, and then I can have something like this as a main color, and then blend this in with like a flag like that. Yeah. That actually didn't take too long, but that's an interesting symbol. But yeah, this is the general idea. And then go back down for different types of wood. Need different wood types. Just blend in here. Although a pen is probably not the best thing for this. This is where oil paint's very good for what I like to do. So let me actually use, you know, dry oil paint to reinforce what I'm thinking here. Because oil paint has a specific feel to it. And no, I'm not using it because I like oil paint. I'm using it because oil paint might be better for my purposes. Because you could just blend stuff in now. Now, I have to keep some black there. But it doesn't need to be overarching as it is right now. Speaking of opacity, I need to add this in more. And then I can add small divisions within this, so that. And then add a door kind of there. And then on the side, like this is like the transport area. Didn't take too long. Yeah, so something like that. And then, yeah, that's good. For this boat, Do like a beige color for the actual rim of the boat. I hate matchmaking. Match 1 is 2 silver. X on enemy. Already beating you up? What's happening? How long is she been? It's only been 20 minutes. I've already got a decent amount done here. Actually, it doesn't take me that long to do stuff. It may seem that way, but it doesn't actually take me that long. This sail doesn't really need anything. It doesn't need anything, but I'll add like... No. I'll add a sharp green here. Like that. Just to indicate something about the ship quality. To make it seem like, okay, the ship's kind of important. Yeah, there we go. That looks somewhat good. And then can add like a mast here. And then have like a brownish rim at the top of the boat. And then this could be a different kind of wood to go up. So maybe this color. Yeah, like that. The edge is actually quite fine. As a rim, I'll have this as a rim. But I mean, you see this, right? And it's like, okay. This isn't the most detailed work because, you know, I'm not an actual artist. Be real. Not an artist. Shocking. But this isn't a dedication the same way as someone who actually does art frequently would have, for example. This is a bit different. This is just me drawing stuff. To be fair, someone did see this. They could probably pass as an artist, to be fair. But no, sir, do not forget this. It's not the same. There can be like one human here, but there shouldn't be too many of them. Human with bow. Choo. It's an easy cut too. Yeah, it's funny. Actually, that black stuff on top of the statue is actually quite good. Chew, 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 chew. Something like that. And then this one can be circles. Yeah. At the front. And this can be it could just be a V. Yeah, could do that. Like a small entrance. Now, if I zoom out, this is what that looks like now. So this is a good base image. These things need a little bit of reflection on the water, so I would need like a little bit of an airbrush. For example, just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit of an airbrush. A little bit of an airbrush underneath this. Wait, no, that's the wrong side. If the sun's facing this way, it would actually be in front of the boat. Be in front of the boat, which makes the most sense, and be on the side. Yeah, so it looks something like that. Okay. Now I have to think about what I want to do now. We could get a pencil. We could start drawing, like the figure. What would it be though? That brush might be too big. A 16 size is better. But we could probably do it where it's from the it's not the waist down. It would be like the thighs down. Cause the waist would be like somewhere around here. So we'll do that. That's not it, dude. That's not. Why is my mom home already? All right. It'd be like from the waist down. That's a gray color. It needs to be black. It's like layer 6. No. Because I don't want her to be I don't want her to be where the boats are, obscuring the view. I want it to be off to the side. But I feel like I'm drawing the wrong thing. So, because what I need to do is that the clothing has to be layer 7. So I need to draw her general body shape. Which I'll start with the waist actually, because the waist would be easy to do. So the waist would be from like here to there. Yeah, the waist would be like here to there. And then they get bigger as we go down. No. If my waist is here, I get slightly bigger. You get slightly bigger as you go down. Like it would be something like that. Not that. Yeah, the waist gets slightly bigger as you go down. And then above that, because I still want this to be visible, it'd be like, they don't get that small, gosh. They get slightly bigger there. And then, yeah, slightly bigger there. And then you move that in a little. And then their body just kind of bends around this. Not drastic like that, but they kind of bend around. Yeah, like kind of like that. Same thing with kind of this boat right here. They'll overshadow it a little bit, but not by much. Not like that. Should use the symmetry brush. Should use the symmetry brush. It's gonna be a bit uneven, but it should be okay. Doesn't the waist have curves? Yeah, the waist is supposed to have curves. I'm just gonna cut this line eventually. But the kind of idea is that the waist has kind of does have a curve, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna best be able to do that. Because the waist is the thinnest part, so technically, if I were to erase this line, yeah, erase this line, and then fix it in like this. Technically, the waist is curved. Technically, which it is, but it's not that curve where it's very a round shape. The belly is more of a curve than the waist does. If you're going down, the curve is really the abdomen that gives it that shape. Speaking of which, this is uneven. Okay, fix that. Because I'm trying to get a certain body shape out. Yeah, and then slowly move that up. Yeah, that's a better curve. Okay, so this is their belly. This would be underneath the rib cage. Their chest would be pretty much up to here. So I'm not going to draw their arms, but I'm going to draw where it should begin to move. So they're going to be just above the boat. And then I think they should actually have pretty large arms. Like their shoulders should be like up here. Well, not like that. Because they're actually, wait, what am I doing? If I'm gonna go, if I'm gonna go over, thinking it would be, what's the pose I'm looking for? I think this would be like, I think the way this is like one hand is gonna be up looking, so this gap would actually be shorter when I draw the arm in, and then the right one could be like this hand bends down around this boat. So I could do this, and then I could shorten their hand, and then that's where the arm, this is where the end of the arm is going to be. So I'm going to shorten this, but their arm should get big like that. It shouldn't be that small. God. But their wrist gets pretty small, but their arm is actually pretty large. Like they're gonna have a pretty large arm. I need to get to this elbow crease right here. Yeah, I need to get to the elbow crease, which is around there, and then stop. And then keep expanding as you go this way. Yeah, so this will be the average size of the arm, for example. And then the hand will obviously have to be bigger. It's not going to be as big as the stomach. It has to be small, so you have to cover this part right here, which I'm going to shade in later. The actual hand pose. But I have the general size of the arm down now. I just need to add in a neck now, which neck should be pretty small, but I'll start adding the curve to it here. And then the head begins here. So I'm going to draw a straight line, but it's only so I know where the head starts. Just as a reference. Okay, my mom is speaking now, so let me close the door. What am I drawing, dude? You know what's funny? I could probably actually, I probably actually know how to do anatomy, somewhat, but I never actually practiced anatomy. No, I know the anatomy of the human body. I know where things are because I look at myself enough times. That's a little bit too jagged. Your neck is straight, but it has a slight curve down to it, and then eventually you have a curve there. But these lines are at different heights, and this neck is in the wrong position. Well, the neck isn't in the wrong position, but the curve down away from the neck needs to look like an exponential graph. Yeah, so it needs to look something like that. And now we're back. The only issue now is that whatchamacallit, This arm is whatchamacallit. This arm is higher than this one, so I need to shorten this one down. So I need to shorten down this arm. I need to make her torso go up straighter because that's how your body is. It goes up wide, but it needs to go up a little bit straighter. And then I need to do this. Although the difference for her hand is that it's not gonna go the bend is gonna be here, and then that bend is going to take her hand up here. So now, what in the world am I doing? So now that bend, this looks so weird. Wait, hold on. When I bend my hand, I'm like putting it up to my mouth. The hand is actually further down, but actually, because okay, if I extend my hand, oh, I know what to do now. Okay, no, this is actually fine because then her arm just has to go further. It can't go like that, but it will bend back. So what's gonna happen is, let me actually erase that because that's not a possible position. Their hand's gonna be in the same position, but it's gonna go up. So their shoulders are gonna be in the same position. So, but their hand has to go up eventually. So it's gonna go further straight, and then somewhere around here, it's gonna bend back. Yeah, it's gonna bend back to her face, like around here, which I haven't drawn it yet, because I'll actually extend the face. I have to find where my arm is. My arm is not touching my face. My hand is, but my arm is not. My arm is off in my face. So her arm would extend up to like here, for example. But we're gonna make this larger. Yeah, it's gonna make this larger in a way. But it's gonna flip over. It's gonna move it over like that. Yeah, so somewhat like this actually. Yeah, so hold on. Let me actually erase the backhand back here, just so I don't confuse myself. This is the ideal position that I'm looking for now. I just have to figure out a way to make this curve right. Yeah, just to figure out a way to make the curve right. So I think in this case it'd probably be I have to make her a bit 3D, and then that elbow curve needs to be around here somewhere. So I need to make that elbow curve. Her elbow needs to be here, and then this should connect, and then this needs to connect to that. So if I'm gonna connect this, it would need to be like that. Yeah, something like that. Because if she's gonna be doing that, you need to kind of see the underside of her arm. Whereas here you don't need to see the underside of her arm. But here you kind of do. And then from here I can make the general shape of her head, where her neck's still gonna go up, but her chin, like we're gonna start drawing her head. Because this is her actual neck that should pop up on the sides. And then her actual face should be above this. But we'll get the general shape of her head before we start adding. Gonna get the general shape of the head before we start adding like facial features or something. What's going on? This is how I do the body. The red stuff is the things I recommend you change. Yeah. They're not gonna be that thin though. It's kind of the thing. Like, they're not gonna be whatchamacallit. Like, they're not thin. Like, their body, like, as you go down, the thinnest part is gonna be right under the rib cage, and then their abdomen gets bigger because they have a bit larger belly. Like, if we're talking about a human anatomy, they're bigger. They're a bigger person, so the belly has to be bigger. So the curve shape would be different. The waist is better, though. The waist is definitely better. Just that the belly would be bigger than that. It would curve out. Like, instead of the belly bending in, it will curve out. It's good advice, though. So, what I mean by that? So, I'll try to draw, like, a smaller model, like, inside. Right? Because, like, your model was... What was it? Something like this. It was basically... I'm not drawing this perfectly. It was basically this. And then... Not like that. What am I doing? It's not that steep. It's basically like this, where... It's not that steep, bro. What are you doing? It goes down slowly. And then the stomach... I'll make like a smaller version of it. The stomach will be like right here. And then like you have a gentle curve as you go down. This would be the waist. Right? Effectively. And then I believe you had this go all the way around. But my line is like terrible because I don't know how to draw this properly. Probably because I'm using like keyboard and mouse is probably why. The only thing here, though, is because, like, their abdomen's going to be bigger because their weight's going to be higher. They're going to have more body fat. This curve here, for the waist, is going to be down here. But, like, on your thing, it's not going to go continuously down towards the waist like that. It's not going to be like this. It's going to be more... They have the curve here, but then it bends in more, and then it adjusts like that. Because they have belly fat here. So, that extends it out. Because I actually have belly fat on me. So I can actually measure it myself. It bends out, and then as you get towards your ribcage up here, it bends back in, the skin. And then it bends back out again. As you have your torso. Which I should probably resemble here better, because this is actually probably the wrong interpretation. It should be more like this. Where this is not too much of a cut here. So let me actually remove this. It should be more of a cut here. I'm making mistakes. Thanks for bringing that up to me, though. I do like that. And that's just the reasoning for why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Now, if she was slim, right? If she was slim, then I'd definitely use the mod that you use, because if the person's slim, then yeah, generally, from top to bottom, the torso gets smaller. But if the person has any sort of weight or any sort of belly fat, like most people do, that's not necessarily the case where they get flatter as they go down. It's more like an X shape. It's more like an X shape, but it's rounded. Now, when I add clothing here, I could actually block all this out. Block all that out. We don't need to know. We don't need to see the rest of the painting anymore. But this is probably a better way to be able to see the anatomy. Like, oh. Like, okay, this is where, like, the tip of the arm is going to be. But how big does the hand have to be? Because if I'm going to put, like, her mouth... What? Like... But I could probably put, like, a blue dot for where the mouth could be. But I think, optimally, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to sketch out the layers. Which, let me add everything back on. Let me add everything back here. I think what you're supposed to do is, I'm not supposed to erase that. What are you doing? Like, how's the human skull? Once you get here, the human skull actually goes up pretty vertically, and then we start bending it down. Like that. It's not supposed to be like that. The head can be a little uneven, which is fine, but it's not supposed to be like that. because the bend in her begins a bit earlier than that. Like it's the bend on its right side begins a bit earlier, so it would need to be more like that, and then keep that generally the same. But now I have to figure out a way to rise above because this is like the cranium. So I think maybe this could actually work actually, but it's not. It's definitely not supposed to go that high. You need to disconnect both ends here. The cranium should go up, and then it should be relatively flat as we do that. Like it should look more like that. That's a better shape for what we're going for. And then, in terms of like a sketch, which we're going to do, where we have to layer the face. I'm gonna draw a line like straight across here. So this should just be like the general dividing line because I think I want the nose to be on this line. And then, obviously, slightly above, to the right and to the left on both sides has to be the eyes. And then this should be the down the middle. Do not crash on me, bro. Do not. But something like that, where her nose has to be here, her eyes have to be in these quadrants, and then her mouth needs to be somewhere in this area. The mouth has to be somewhere here. So I actually need to extend this arm even further. God damn it. Dude, I have to make even larger arms. Don't like that. Arm has to be even bigger this time. But her arm's got like this. The arm has to be like where? It has to be, where's the arm? Where's my arm in relation to my body? The arm has to be like practically here. Like that's practically where the arm has to be. And then the hand extends, which if I'm like here, the hand extends, but the tip of the finger is what's touching the mouth. Because the hand would have to be, because this is our right hand. The tip of the hand would have to be maybe a little bit lower, but the hand would have to be in this quadrant. Like her mouth would be here. The hand would have to cover up to here, and then the tip of her index finger would have to touch her mouth or something. That's the ideal way of what we're trying to figure out, but I don't know. But I have the good thing is I actually do have I have the body sketch now, which is good. The only thing that I have to add to this is I have to add the actual physical detail of like where everything's supposed to be. Get rid of this thing right here. So this layer would need to be, I need to add her facial features. Yeah, add the facial features, add the body, the parts of the body that are exposed that don't have clothing over top of them. Then add clothing and then add like a 9th layer and just paint over all of it. Although what might be stupid is I have layer 8 is where I paint her body, and then layer 8 is where her body gets painted and gets fully colored. And then layer 9 and layer 8, layer 9 and layer 10 is the actual clothing, which would be crazy. I think hair is also usually put on layer 7, which I think that makes a lot more sense than putting on layer 6 because we're just getting the skeleton right now. You know, it'd be funny if artists just did the skeleton first. You just draw the skeleton, then draw the body over it. So, like, when we go through the layers, you could just see the anatomy of the human body. That would be so funny. Just have the bones there. So, it's like, okay, if we want to have, like... I guess we want to have a game where we're trying to draw an art piece or, like, they have an injury or something. We could do a deep dive. Like, okay, this is what they look like on the surface, but now let's see how we physically build it underneath so we can see how the skin's supposed to be. Now as far as hand goes, I need to erase this. A hand is... Well, this is her right hand, so if it's facing her, it's gonna have to be... The flat side has to be here. Or am I an idiot? Yeah, the flat side, like the thumb has to be facing her eye. The thumb has to face her eye and the flat side is on the bottom. So something like that. So the hand would be something like this. Dude, sometimes I hate how things just like merge together. It just feels so terrible. But I think for this, like, this is actually quite fine. I might need a smaller brush though. A smaller brush size may be needed. This is just a general idea of what we're doing. Where? Oh wait, the curve here actually is much more. This isn't a drastic curve. The curve here has to be a lot more drastic of what we're doing, because she has a thumb here. I don't know why I made the thumb like so tiny though. Does it need to be? Oh wait. No, yeah, because her mouth would be here. Yeah, her nose will actually be here somewhat, and her mouth would be here, so it's actually quite fine. And then we can. Okay, now we can add this. Okay, so now we have where the hand is, and now because it'll be the edge of her mouth. It should be like this finger. Dude, that is a terrible index finger. That is trash. Yeah, because I remember the rest of her hand, the rest of her fingers rather, they're bended in. Reduce the layer opacity of the head so you can see the hands better. Yeah, I could. Yeah. Wait. Why am I drawing this on layer 7? What am I doing? What, bro? It's just remove. What, bro? I don't think it's here. I think I have to change it somewhere else. I don't know. I feel kind of dumb. Why am I drawing it here? Why am I drawing it in layer 7? That doesn't make too much sense to me. Oh well. It's fine. What's the... Oh, this is her left hand. So... The thumb would need to be... Yeah, because it would be kind of like that. So the thumb would be kind of almost vertical, in a way. The thumb would kind of be like up here. Well, not like that, but it would kind of be like this. And then the rest of the hand, I need to make it smaller. The rest of the hand would be somewhat bigger. Like how far is that? I'm estimating by pixels now. 408, 367. 407, 367. So what tip is this? 438. So it's like about 20 pixels or something. About 20 pixels. Not bad. Oh, I'm dumb. I need to make this. Yeah. Because I need to add the fingers here. And like a smaller detail where it's not gonna, blur it out. I didn't mean to do that, dude. Come on. Now, honestly, I do kind of feel that it's not that big. I do kind of feel that, this mouse is a opposition to me. This mouse hates me. Not gonna lie. The mouse does actually hate me. I'm gonna be honest. Do we want? I do want clothing here. This would make the most sense. Clothing does need to be here. There needs to be clothing here. How I'm gonna style clothing here really does matter. Needs to be clothing here. There's gonna be a bracelet here, which that's clothing, so that doesn't need to be labeled in skin, but they could probably add like here, for example. What in the world is that? No. Add wrinkles. Because this is... That's the elbow. Like, draw, like, where some of the bones would be. Draw, like, some height lines here. Some contour lines, so, like, I can at least, like, get an idea of what's happening. Does she have muscle? Kinda. Not really. Like, there might be muscle in this region. Might be muscle here. But it's not gonna be much. So, I'll highlight both of these regions on both her hands. I can't do it here, unfortunately, so I have to do it, like, here. So, I'll draw something in for these areas. This is a much more clear elbow right here. So, this is fine. It's a much more clear elbow. In terms of this, I need to make what? I need to figure out how I want to draw this eye properly. So what I want to do is probably, because the nose is gonna be here, but the eye has to be here. So I'm gonna do this, something like that. Am I crazy? Maybe. Maybe a bit crazy. But I think, honestly, this is a good way to draw eyes. It's a very good way to draw eyes. Because if you think about it, like, this is a good way to draw eyes, actually. It's actually a very good way to draw eyes. Is it a bit uneven? It is a bit uneven. Yeah, it is a bit uneven, but the eyes aren't supposed... Eyes are supposed to be symmetrical in a way, but we could fix that. There should be a little bit more room down here. But I don't think I want her eyes to be completely symmetrical. Although, I don't know. What am I really thinking? Like, this right eye seems massive compared to this left one. But that's because the right eye has a lot more space here. So I can remove that. And then close up that gap much quicker. This way. So I have a general eye shape here now. Gosh. I'm going to need to remove this sketch eventually. Which, you know, now that I have eyes, I could probably do that, like, around now. Could probably remove this sketch now. And then, yeah, the nose will be, like, up. That's not her nose, you good dude. I'm fumbling hard right now. The nose could be, like, the nose could be up to here. But the nose bridge needs to be somewhere in here. So there needs to be a nose bridge here. And then you add, like, a forehead and something. And then the mouth needs to be here. So what I'll do, because this is gonna be the edge. Where's my mouth in relation to my eyes? Wait. Is my mouth directly underneath my pupil? I did not know that. The edge of my eyes are actually directly beneath my pupils. Okay. So wherever this is, or the edge of my mouth. Yeah. So something like this. Yeah. So something like that. Just goes across. Yeah, because this makes sense now. Yeah, that makes sense now, actually. Why is this... Bro, why does that look so small? Gosh, why does it look so small? It should not look that small. There we go. Now this covers like part of it, but this is okay. And then I like a line in between. Somewhat add a line in between. But I need to style that better. So I might actually continue this on another stream. And then switch to a game or something. But this is like the general idea of what I'm going for. So I'll get rid of this. I'll get rid of this thing. Yeah, I'll get rid of this monstrosity like right now. And hide it. Not the best people drawer. But, you know, we'll get better at it. How long has stream been going on for? 60 minutes. Alright. To be fair, I think that's pretty much... Well, it's not it. This is definitely not it. We're definitely not finished at all. But I like this. And I like that. So, hold on. I actually need to draw this. I need to do what in the world? Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong layer. You dumb, bro. On the wrong layer. This could definitely be made better. But now I just need to kind of... Actually, technically, because this has the full details, I just need to trace over what in the world just happened. I just need to trace over the layer system again. Trace over that, add more detail, and I think that's fine. And then like probably hide this layer, paint this layer, and then work on clothing, probably, and then add hair and stuff. But this is actually a good start because I have eyes here. It look like eyes. This actually works. But for now, this is the base image. So I have the base image done. So that's good. So if I want to add, like, if I wish to add pretty much any character here, I could do that. So I could draw pretty much any character possible, as long as I know what I'm doing and do this. But as you can see, I actually am really decent at making landscapes. I'm not decent at making people because I don't draw people. But so far, we do have like something of a civilization here. Sand. With the gigantic dust storm in the back. Of this rock formation. You have a boat there and you have one here. So it's not terrible. We have a boat, we have a sun, we have a moon, we have, what's this? What am I getting at? We have the dust storm. So we have the weather, we have the sun, we have the moon, we have the sky, we have the ocean, we have two boats. I have the land done, and I have a general background. Right? The only thing now I have to do is when I do this on a later date, so I'm going to actually do this on stream because I want everyone to see me do it completely, is just have to finish designing the woman that I am creating. I need to flesh out the body structure. I then have to give them clothing. And then after all of that, color her, and then finish it, and then upload it. But this right here itself is actually a pretty good base, which I don't know. You guys can use. I'll actually export this base so you guys can like use it or something. Wait, actually, hold on. The base can't have. Whatchamacallit. Where are the boats? Hold on. Land. Actually, wait. Is it better if I have? I don't know why these things are here. I don't need these up here. I don't actually need these up here. Hold on. Let me get rid of these. I don't actually need the dust things up here because these actually do interfere. These actually do interfere a bit with how it looks, so I'm actually gonna delete them because they're not supposed to be there. Let me actually delete those now. There we go. But this, I can give this to people and say, hey. Oh wait, the extra people literally come in with the layers. I forgot about that. So you could say, you guys like, hey, I gave you this image. Actually, not this image. I don't give you this image. I give you this image. Finish the image. And this will actually be a good challenge to see who actually knows what they're doing and who does not. This would be very funny. I'm like, hey guys. Actually, would it be funnier if I just did this? No. It would not be. Removing the sky actually does actually break the simulation a bit. That's not what we want. Removing the sky does break the simulation, which is not good. Yeah, the simulation gets broken when I remove the sky. What about if I remove the ocean? Not really. If I remove the ocean, simulation doesn't quite break, but I was like, is this a sky island? What's going on here? But when I keep this, when I have this here, it's like, okay. Actually, for the ocean, now I'm thinking about it, this does look a little weird now. So let me fix that. Let me get the, I think it's the watercolor. Wait, no, it's the oil paintbrush. Let me get the oil paintbrush at like a decently high level, and let me actually add some things here so it looks like, you know, ocean. Somewhat. I don't want it to look terrible. So you can thank me for that. I want it to look like you're actually... Wait. What brush did I use for this thing? Did I use acrylic? What brush did I use? I used a brush. I didn't use this. I used like a flat brush or something. Yeah, it was this thing. Yeah, I used this thing. I didn't use whatever the thing. I didn't use whatever that other thing was. What was I thinking? No, actually, what was I thinking, to be fair? Like, the brush is actually quite good. And I'm like, nah. Let's use something that's not as good. Alright. The base image is actually finished, technically. Technically. The base image is finished, but the actual, the subject of the image is not finished. So, I'll actually save. And, I don't know. Dude, I feel kind of tired right now, not even gonna lie. Hide my screen. Oh wait, no, I can actually open up the other thing and show you what it was. Actually, I can show you what else I did. Well, not on this PC, but on the laptop, because that's where I made it. Close, yes. Because actually, doing landscapes is actually not that hard. Although, to be fair, it's not supposed to be hard. It's the thing I learned to do. Landscapes is the only artwork I actually know how to do easily, because that's the only thing I learned about. When I was still in elementary school, it's the only thing they taught me. Unfortunately. It was this image, right? Yeah, it's this image. Yeah, so, dude, this is so stupid, bro. I swear. Well, actually, I don't really swear, but it's still stupid how this computer right here always So always somehow finds a way to somehow randomly disconnect from the internet for no apparent reason or just crash. I don't understand. And it only does this when I'm streaming, so it probably is OBS actually. But I think I can still hear myself, right? No apparent reason or just crash. Okay, I can hear myself. There we go. So this is what I did yesterday. This only took me about an hour and 30 minutes actually. No, I did not trace any of this. The only thing I had to do was that I had to look at the map to actually make sure that does this actually look correct? And yes, it does. I had to make sure and keep looking back at the map to make sure, like especially Florida right here, that I wasn't making a terrible angle anywhere when making a coastline. Because something I'll dude, don't tell me it keeps freezing, bro. It's not. There we go. But something I keep doing is that when I'm drawing Florida, I realize, oh wait, I kind of make the curve for southeast Florida too much, and then the East Coast Florida is fine, but the West Coast is also difficult because then I realize, oh wait, there is the swamp in the southwest part of the state is here, but then I have to map Naples, Fort Myers, that area, and then Tampa Bay. And then everything north of Tampa Bay is easy to map because that's the Gulf Coast and I pretty much know what it looks like. But mapping the Florida Peninsula itself is difficult. Mapping the Yucatan was also difficult for a little bit. Because I got frustrated. It didn't take too long, but I was trying to get it just right as I wait. The Yucatan is not flat on the top of it. It's not a straight line, which I knew it wasn't. It's like the changes in the coastline are so small that it's hard to do with a mouse, but I still got it done. And then I put Cozumel here. Originally, Cozumel was facing north to south, but it doesn't do that in real life. I think Cozumel is actually not in this position. Well, let me rephrase that. It is in this position, but it's like 5 pixels too far north or too far east or something like that. It's like it's actually in a perfect position east. It might be further east. I don't know, man. Making this on the map is hard, but Cozumel's in the right area, so I was able to get Cuba down pretty easily. I just had to get this inlet in here, but Cuba was easy. Getting this part of Haiti was difficult, bro. This was difficult to do. The Bahamas was not as difficult of a task because the Bahamas just look at it and just draw it. Because I knew the general shape of especially the northern Bahamas due to Hurricane Dorian, but drawing the northern coast of Haiti was difficult. I had to do multiple retries of that. I got it, but this still doesn't look like the northern coast of Haiti, to be fair. This doesn't, of Hispaniola, the island, rather, it doesn't look like that. It kind of is, but it doesn't. And that bothers me. It's not perfect. And that's bad for me. Because it needs to be perfect. This up here, like South Carolina here, North Carolina, Georgia, the Georgia coastline, Florida. This is pretty much perfect, right here. This is pretty much perfect, ready to go. Like this is pretty much perfect. You can't really improve that much. Florida Keys pretty much perfect. Cuba almost perfect. This thing is still nagging me. I need to fix this. The Bahamas had plenty of islands plus Turkish Caicos. I was able to get these in. Some of these islands are not representative of their actual shape because it's not perfect, but they're in the correct positions. Getting the ocean layer is probably the easiest part, though. Ocean layer is pretty easy, but if you just look at this, you could practically color this in. So, you could get... if I could just send this as a template and someone can, hey, here's a template. Color this in. And then the coastal shelf, I added this, too. Now, the coastal shelf blends over the land just because it's how it is, but coastal shelf is where shallow water is. And by shallow water, I mean it's not 1,000 feet deep. Like, this is the continental shelf. This water is still deep. Like, some of this you can't swim in, but you can't necessarily swim in because it's 800 feet deep.